Sup guys, King here, bringing you a discussion video and some news regarding Resident Evil remakes. Okay, so it's been a while since I've done a video like this, and I thought let's just go into this. Let's talk about all the stuff that's come out regarding future remakes of the RE series. Now, before I go on further, remember to please like and subscribe, and apologize for some audio problems here and there. Filming. Technically, I'm recording this with my sound recorder. I'm not doing any filming this time around. But yeah, let's go into it. Okay, so first up, Capcom pretty much confirmed that they are going to be making new remakes. So let's talk about that. Let's go through that first and see what they had to say. Now, this was at one of the, I think this was at the recent PlayStation panel a few weeks ago. So yeah, let's just go through this. So this is by Apon, I think. I don't know if he's one of the producers or directors, but pretty much had this to say when it came to remakes for the future. Yes, Apon replied when asked if Capcom wants to keep making Resident Evil remakes. We've released 3 remakes so far, and they have all been received very well. Since it allows a modern audience to play these games, it is something I am happy to do as someone that loves these older games, and we want to continue doing more. What game we will remake in the future is something that we would like to announce in the future, so please look forward to it. So yeah, there you go guys, pretty much confirmed from the horse's mouth, we are getting more remakes. The rumours at the moment are that we're going to get a Resident Evil 5 remake next. Obviously the next RE game we are getting is RE9. We know that's coming out first before we get another remake, unless, surprise surprise, we end up getting a remake maybe this year technically next year in 2024. And then 2025 is obviously Resident Evil 9's time to shine, and then 2026, obviously with the rumours that we have heard, it's RE5 remake. But things could change. He has more to say here. When developing a new game, there is no way to know what will be received well by the players, which makes it difficult, Apon continued. In the case of a remake, there are already players that have played the original, which I think can be seen as an advantage. We are very grateful to users that are vocal about their opinion. It allows us to develop with the player's opinion in mind. For example, if this is how the players feel, then maybe we can make it like this. I think this is one of the reasons why our remakes are so well received. Now, let's be honest here, guys. Resident Evil 2 and 4 remakes were well received. Resident Evil 3 remake kind of wasn't. It was sort of a mixed bag for a lot of people, and very understandably so. But I do like, how he says that, they're grateful to the vocal of in opinions of the users and the other players. So it gives them an idea of what to do. And I feel like they do listen to feedback and criticism. So, if you ever get those Capcom surveys asking you what you thought of the recent Resident Evil game, and they ask you what you want to see next, always tell them what you want to see next, and do mention what kind of changes you want, because I do think they do consider that. There's a lot of things I wanted personally for Resident Evil 4 remake that I was surprised to see was put in and added in. So, and these are things that I myself asked for in surveys multiple times. So it happens, I think. I think they do read those, definitely. But that's from Capcom though, okay? So that's Capcom pretty much confirming we are going to get future remakes. Now, recently, Dusk Golem came out and he said the following, regarding rumours about a Resident Evil remake next year. Now, the rumours were about Code Veronica, but Dusk Golem has come out and said that we are not getting a remake next year. Okay, it's not happening. The only RE game we're getting next year apparently is RE4 Remake Gold Edition, which has been rumoured to be happening, or I think there was some leak that confirmed it is happening. But here's the thing, Dusk Golem is the kind of guy who gets some things right and he gets a lot of things wrong, so I wouldn't necessarily believe everything he says. But let's read what he has to say here when asked, if the rumours about RE Code Veronica are real or not. See, there was a 4chan leak, if you will. Not real leak, more of a take it with a grain of salt on 4chan. discussing about a potential RE called Veronica, and Dusk Golem came out and said the following. I will say that 4chan rumor is bollocks. It's someone making shit up. But there is no RE Remakes coming out in 2024. I promise that. He then further on went to say, but anyways, there is a big Capcom game that's been announced in late 2023 and releasing in 2024, but it is not a Resident Evil game. Now, we already know that the big game that Capcom announced, and that's coming out next year, is Dragon's Age 2. I think that was pretty obvious. We also know that Monster Hunter 6, apparently, I think, or if it's a different title, is coming out in 2025. So, during the, the Game Awards show, Dusk Golem pretty much came out and said that we were going to get Resident Evil 4 Gold Edition, Monster Hunter Wild, and Dishonored 3 revealed at the Game Awards show. Now, 2 of these games were not, in fact, announced. And he was also pretty adamant that one of these games wasn't going to happen. And then it did. So, yeah, this guy, you can't really believe what he says at this point. Because now it's sort of going against the info he told us before. So, yeah, this was on, I believe, on the Discord or maybe another forum. I'm not too sure where this came from. But yeah, let's see what it's about. So, Resident Evil, and this is from Dusk Golem, by the way. Resident Evil 4 Gold, Monster Hunter Wild, Dishonored 3, here we come for tomorrow. I think most know of at this point. So he's pretty much saying that these are the 3 games we are going to have revealed. And then he also says, well, this is someone else replying. Wait, Dusk, it's Dishonored 3? The Blade game is fake? So, there were rumors that a Blade game was happening by the studios that did Dishonored. But Dusk Golem says that it's not. It wasn't. It wasn't Blade. Blade's not real. It's Dishonored 3. Only for him to be proven wrong when it was revealed that, in fact, it was the Blade game and it was being developed by the Dishonored developers. So that is happening, not Dishonored 3. So he got that wrong, and he got wrong the fact that RE4 Gold Edition was supposed to be revealed. It wasn't. So, yeah. But he was right about Monster Hunter. That was pretty much confirmed. But there's no idea to know whether he meant he was referring to this in terms of the game being announced in 2023 to come out next year, or if it was Dragon's Dogma 2. I believe that was revealed already at that point, so I'm not too sure. There were already leaks for that, so... But yeah, like I said, I wouldn't put anything Dusk says into consideration all the time. He does get a lot of things wrong, and he got this wrong very hardcore, I might add. So it makes you wonder whether or not the rumors regarding a Code Veronica remake are in fact real. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about Code Veronica remake. So yes, there was a 4chan leak, and this is what the 4chan user had to say. Warning, my English skills can be somewhat bad. I am Jap. My friend helps me to write it as best as I can. I was tester during recent playtest of etc, RE, or simply Biohazard Code RE Veronica. It is known as Resident Evil in West. So yeah, this guy's writing isn't the best. Maybe this is legit, or maybe this is just a troll having a bit of fun. But let's go through this. Let's go through what he says regarding Code Veronica. He says he's a tester and he played some of the game. I am going to share some info about the project. It is 4chan. I think it will be unnoticed long. It is a story about Claire Redfield on Rockford Island, third-person game similar to Biohazard RE2. I played only a short demo provided by developers to test and give feedback to new mechanics. Game starts with prologue, where Claire remembers Raccoon City. We see explosion. Claire is looking for her brother, and we start with slow-paced tutorial section inside a Bruna Umbrella Corp building. Player controls Claire as she goes in some offices, and when escapes from guards, she's captured and sent to Rockford. Prison area is vast, with many cells and guard rooms. When new character Ricardo lets her go, she encounters some military men in black suit, but he is killed by falling debris from explosion. Island is attacked. Claire escapes, but right at the end of prison section, she meets with Steve in cell. He asks her to let him out. Claire is hesitant, but decides that if he is against corporation, then he is no enemy. They together escape and into some kind of safe room. Here, player can freely switch from Claire to Steve. Player can explore the next areas as any character. Each character have their own set of skills. Claire is better with knives, and her aim is better and faster, become a point aim. Steve can fire with 2 guns at the same time and running faster but cannot mix herbs, can throw knives from distance at enemy. Claire is better with puzzles, can give player advice how to solve them and see hidden items sometimes. Steve can use stealth and knows some passwords in complex. Demo ends when they get to Palace. That is all I want to share. So, can this 4chan leak be believed? No, it's 4chan. Remember guys, always take 4chan with a grain of salt. Sometimes it's right, sometimes it's right. Majority of the times it's wrong. It's very rare when it's correct. But there are some interesting stuff here regarding Code Veronica. For instance, the game starts with you playing as Claire inside the Umbrella base before she's captured. And then of course when she does get to Rockford she escapes and then she encounters Steve and then you get to choose who you want to play as. Now if Code Veronica does get a remake, it would make sense to change the game in a certain way where it can be different from RE2, 3 and 4 remake, and by giving you the ability to swap characters in, as the game is playing, as this one campaign, not 2, but, switching from that character to that and each having their own skill set, that feels like something natural to do, especially for a remake of Code Veronica. If you were going to reimagine or remake it, these are the kind of changes you'd want to, implement. So it's definitely a good sort of idea, whoever the writer for this is. Like, they really tried to think about what they could do if they made a remake and switch it up. But if this is legit, this is pretty interesting. That's really all I can say. Like, it's like, okay, that's a good way of, changing up aspects of the game. And it's not the first time that this has happened. Revelations 2 had you switching characters, over the course of the game, between Claire and Moira or Barry and Natalia, and each character had their own skill set. But here, it's a case of you pick one character and then you play that character, and then at some point you go back and you switch over, you play that character, etc., etc. So, yeah, I could see this being legit, but at the same time, we don't know. That's the thing. We don't know. Yeah. So it could be BS. It could be, but it could also be true. We don't know. That's the thing. Now, of course, are we going to get an RE game? That's the thing. We need to ask ourselves this. Are we going to get an RE game next year? Because we're always getting an RE game every year. That's the thing. Since 2019, we've been getting RE games regularly every year. 2019, we had Resident Evil 2 Remake. And 2020, we had Resident Evil... Sorry about that. Give me a second. There we go. My throat got dry a bit. But yeah, in 2020, we ended up with Resident Evil 3 Remake. And Resident Evil 2021 saw RE8 Village. And in 2022 saw the DLC / Gold Edition of RE Village. And in 2023, we ended up with RE4 Remake. And then in that same year, we ended up with the DLC separate ways, which was surprising because I thought that would be the RE content we would get for 2024. But it makes you wonder, what could we potentially get for 2024? It can't just be a gold edition for RE4, because usually we get a gold edition released alongside the DLC, similar to what they did with RE7 and then RE8. So it's a bit weird we ended up getting the DLC before they announced the release of a complete edition, which is usually the gold edition. So yeah, maybe we are going to get something. Maybe not. I don't know. Which leads me to another rumor mill. This one definitely sounds far-fetched. It doesn't sound real. But again, you never know. It could be legit. But let's go for it. Let's go for it. It'll be fun anyway. So, this is by a poster from Reddit. Again, this poster has posted some things before, and honestly, it doesn't really add up. Especially when you take into consideration what Dusk Golem has said. However, we've proven just now that Dusk Golem has gotten things wrong before, so this user's info could be the correct one. But let's read through it. Agent always sees the same formula being applied to the RE franchise. Helicopter heading towards the horizon, rocket launcher at the end, etc., etc. It looks like the new numbered title will be quite different. Not only because of the game's ambition, but also because it brings surprises and new formulas. We won't have any helicopters leaving at sunset or running away like that, but it will be a movie ending where there will be a direct sequel after that moment. Speaking of continuation, Capcom's intention is to divide RE9 into 2 parts, Resident Evil Part 1 and Part 2. Many have received information about there being no RE games in 2024, but this is false. At some point, we will have something new. Not only RE9, but also a remake could be announced, possibly for 2026 to 2027. Ads only, okay. So, this guy is pretty much saying the opposite of what Dusk Golem is saying. Dusk Golem has said we are not getting a new remake in 2024. In fact, he's saying we're going to get RE4 Remake Gold Edition instead. And he's also said before that that RE9 will be the final numbered title as well. There's not going to be any more numbered titles after this. However, this newser is saying that we are in fact going to get a remake or something in 2024. We're getting a game. That's what he's saying. We are going to get a RE game in 2024, and we're going to get the announcements for RE9. And whatever remakes potentially between then and the following year, with releases in 2026 and 2027. Now, the most interesting thing about this is him saying that RE9 is going to be 2 parts. Now, here's my thoughts on this. Capcom recently announced their new engine, which is called REX engine, or Rex engine, if you will. Now, this could refer to 2 things, actually. Okay, it could be a wordplay, it could be sort of a multiple meaning, sort of like how they did the RE engine, which, it's their sort of way maybe to hint at it being like a symbolism for Resident Evil. So the Rex engine could be a symbolism for something like Dino Crisis, perhaps, fingers crossed, maybe we'll get that Dino Crisis remake finally, but it could also be a hint at RE10 or REX, if you will, Resident Evil X, Resident Evil 10, etc., etc. And yeah, I don't know, would they? It depends on how the game ends and how much they're willing to, because here's the thing, all the rumors, especially Dusk Golem, have said that RE9 is the biggest, RE game to date when it releases. Okay, it's going to be bigger than RE4 Remake, it's going to be bigger than RE6, it's a big game. And, it kind of doesn't make sense for them to split that game into 2 if the game's already big, unless their intention is to split the game in half and we get one part of it and then we get the other, because it's so big, it's so ambitious that the only way they can release it on time or add everything they want is by splitting it in half. So, I don't know how true this is. Personally, I feel like with the announcement of the new RE engine, they would want to make RE10 and have that sort of close off everything. Have that be the final RE game, like final numbered RE game in the present storyline going forward. Things could change, of course, but yeah, again, I would take this with a grain of salt. We don't know if it's legit. Again, it's Reddit, and then there's the 4chan post. But then we also proved that Dusk Golem doesn't really know what he's talking about. He's gotten things wrong. So yeah. Then, of course, we have the same typical information that we've had regarding Resident Evil 9, etc., etc., But, yeah, at this point, yeah, it makes you wonder. So what's going to happen? What's next? Are these rumors true? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what happens this year. I do think we will get the first, reveal announcement of RE9 this year. If it is coming out for 2025... then most likely we'll get a mid or late reveal of the game, with Capcom revealing it'll come out in the next 6 to maybe 8 months. So, it's similar to what they've been doing since RE7. They reveal the game, and then it literally comes out in the next 6 to 8 months. That's pretty much how they've been doing all their games with that. RE2. RE3 Remake, for example, was revealed at the end of 2019, in December. And then the game was released 4 months after, in April, I believe, of 2020. 2020, yeah. So a similar situation could happen here, where we get the reveal of a game, and then literally few months, we get the release. So it could happen again. I don't know. I was kind of hoping it would be called Veronica. We would get the reveal this year. It didn't happen. So, but Capcom have said they are doing remakes. They're doing more remakes. So it is on the table. It is a potential we could see RE called Veronica. Of course, what if it's not RE called Veronica? What if it's another remake of RE1? Personally, I've said this before, if you're going to remake RE1 again, you should take RE0 and combine it with RE1 in terms of like stories. Not just make a direct remake, but actually take those two games, put it into one, and reimagine the entire story. For example, giving Bravo Team more to do, making James Marcus the villain of both games, perhaps, you know, sort of like that. Have actually the leeches in the mansion, in the Spencer mansion, you know, actually reference, actually reveal how it was Marcus that attacked both areas, maybe. I don't know, they could do something like that, but bigger, grander, etc., you know. But yeah, for now, this is all we have. Don't know if it's legit. Again, like I said, the main thing I wanted to point out with this is that Dusk Golem has gotten things wrong. So, you know, his info regarding the future of RE is now sort of mute. I don't really believe anything he says regarding Resident Evil now, because he got two things wrong. He did get two things wrong, big time. Technically three, but one of them, you know, he said we weren't getting a Blade game, and we are. He said it was going to be Dishonored 3, it wasn't. He said we're going to get RE4 Gold Edition announced, it wasn't. So yeah, I wouldn't put anything he says on a, you know, high on a pedestal. Like at this point, he's calmed down from my times of believing him. Like now I'm like, yeah, you're full of crap now. Like I don't really believe you, and I don't believe all the other stuff on Reddit or 4chan. But it could be true. It could. That has more of a chance now to be more true than what Dusk Golem says. So we'll have to wait and see. I do believe we will get announcements this year, but it's just a case of being patient and waiting to see what happens next. Anyway, guys, that's my thoughts on that. I hope you liked it. As always, remember to like and subscribe. And yeah, I hope to bring you more RE content in the future. Hope you enjoyed this, and yeah, take care. And depending on when I post this, obviously, I hope you all had a Merry Christmas, and I hope you all have a Happy New Year as well. Take care, and bye.